Hey there. I'm so happy to share with you. I love making these little videos and I appreciate your taking the time to watch them. One of the most wonderful things in my life has been that, about 15 years ago, I was doing counseling work. I started counseling people 17 years ago. And in the early days of it, one of the things that I started to experience was talking with many people on the phone and people in different countries and all around the United States. And I talked with many people who were experiencing a great drama in their lives, people who had just gotten a terminal cancer diagnosis, people who their partner had just gotten a terminal cancer diagnosis, people who were experiencing panic attacks, people who were feeling chronically depressed and suicidal, people who were feeling helpless and hopeless, all kinds of people in all kinds of situations. And one of the common occurrences for many of these people was that they were not in a position where they had spiritual friends, and they were not in a position where they had spiritual community. And many of them even did have spiritual friends, but felt that they couldn't be authentic with them. And I can certainly relate to that because that definitely was my experience for a time. And so talking with many, many people who really didn't have anyone else that they could talk to completely authentically, completely transparently, people who were experiencing great amounts of fear, pain, and suffering. And a lot of them really were in this position of melting down or just feeling lost and confused and really needing someone to talk to and have community around them. And one of the things that used to happen to me sometimes is I'd get off the phone and I literally would get down on my knees in tears and just be so grateful for the work that I was doing. And now, in my year-long Masterful Living course, which I've been doing since 2009, what I absolutely love is we have an extraordinary, loving community. So we have people who are just starting Masterful Living, and we have people who've been doing it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and even people who were in the very first years of Masterful Living, 2009, 2010, who are still participating in the most beautiful ways. And it's growing and growing, this community. And we're finding new ways to connect and communicate. It's exceptional. I really have never experienced anything like it. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it. The very foundation of our Masterful Living community is the foundation of my spiritual practice, which I share with everyone, which is that forgiveness is non-judgment. That's exactly what forgiveness is. And that's why forgiveness sometimes seems to elude us, because we just don't wish to give up those opinions and judgments. We really cling to them. I know. So when we gather together for the purpose of giving up our judgments, giving up our opinions, and living in peace and harmony and being a truly helpful, truly loving, compassionate, patient, kind, generous presence in our family, in our workplace, in our community, then it is extraordinary how much healing can happen. And this is what I see year after year in Masterful Living, that people are so blown away at how loving the community is and how supportive the community is, so that they don't give up. Yeah, we all get discouraged. We all get triggered. There's no question of that. We are healing our mind of the patterns that get triggered. We're healing our mind of the patterns that generate that sense of helplessness and hopelessness and frustration and irritation and anger and sadness and hurt. But in our Masterful Living community, we're working on it together so that we can actually, a lot of times, we can laugh at ourselves. And we can put our arms around each other and we can pray for each other. We can hold what we call the high watch for each other. In other words, we are knowing the truth that each one of us is that loving essence, that Christ essence, that perfection, and we're interested in revealing it, and part of our revelation is through seeing it in each other. And it's so much easier to see it in each other when we're actually practicing the non-judgment, because most of us, when we start this work, we've got people in our life who are complainers, and I was the complainer in my life for a very long time. And I was extremely critical all the time, extremely analytical. And I had gone a long way down this road of thinking that if I just read more books, had more information, that that would really somehow be my spiritual awakening. No, definitely not the path of spiritual awakening, reading books and having an intellectual comprehension, but doing the work of loving each other, having compassion and patience and kindness with each other, doing the real emotional work of being in community and practicing being transparent with each other. I heard the most beautiful community call with a new group that just came in. It was so beautiful. And they were talking about, is it going to be okay if I voted for Trump? Okay, because a lot of people in the group have not voted for Trump and they're upset by Trump, and they see that Trump is a trigger for them. Just like anything in the world can be a trigger for us when we're judging it, when we think it should be different. And it was so beautiful how the people in class shared that the main thing we're all working on is releasing these habits of judgment and fear, and therefore it doesn't matter what our politics are, it's a safe place for us to practice non-judgment and to release all the fear and the patterns of fear. That's extraordinary. That is extraordinary. And we are practicing deeply and we are rising in joy. This is the commitment that we are having in our Masterful Living group, to really stop learning through pain and to absolutely enjoy learning through joy. We can do that. It's a shift. It takes attention. It takes great, great willingness. And that's what this group has. And I love being a part of this community. I am lifted by this community every single day. And so if you're looking for a spiritual community that's very supportive, loving, compassionate, non-judgmental, patient, and kind, and you're interested in being able to practice those things, practice authenticity and transparency, and really be seen for who and what you are, the perfect love of God, so that you can experience the healing and see yourself that way, this might be the group for you. And I invite you to check out everything that is written about Masterful Living and click the link. Go look, read what other people are saying, read what their experiences are. You can actually listen to their voice or watch their videos. These are real people experiencing real miracles. And you know what? They all started from a place of wondering if they had what it took. And they had that willingness. And some of them were actually just willing to be willing, or even willing to be willing to be willing. But they had that little bit of willingness, and Spirit carried them to enormous healing. Healing that they could share with their family, their friends, their loved ones, their workplace, and their community. So this is what I'm holding for you. If you're interested, come join us. We've got just a couple days before Masterful Living registration closes for the entire year. It won't open again until next year's program is open for registration. So remember, you can always withdraw if it's not for you. We do have a money-back guarantee, but if you think, maybe this is the thing for me, one of the things you can do is we have exploratory calls. So we've got some wonderful people who've done the class and are willing to share with you their experiences and answer any questions you have. So you can register for one of those exploratory calls right now and see if it's right for you, and just trust that you'll know if it's right for you. The people who are doing the exploratory calls are absolutely not salespeople. They've not had any sales training at all. They're just people like you who were afraid in the beginning or concerned or trepidatious, reluctant, but they decided to go for it. They had that little bit of willingness and they kept adding to it and adding to it and adding to it to have a beautiful experience of healing, and they are happy to share that with people who are interested in learning more. So we're here to support you. We have a very loving community and we are rocking it out this year. This is the year of extraordinary transformation. We can all feel that we're being pulled to be our very best self. So come join us. We'd love to have you.